Alright, so I have a Max Holloway interview we're gonna go over. We're not gonna watch the video, but I will leave the video and the article link down below. But this has to do with Max Holloway taking on Dustin Poirier on July 19th for the third time. And now, the thing with Max Holloway is that he already has lost an entire trilogy to Alexander Volkanovski, but at that time, Max and Alex were the number one and number two at featherweight. Those fights were really close. Two of them could have gone either way, in my opinion. But without further ado, let's read the article, and we're gonna talk about Max Holloway going into this fight, potentially being down to trilogies, and what that means for his legacy as well as Dustin Poirier. I got head in my mouth. Alright, cool. So, Max Holloway determined not to be 0-3 in two trilogies after UFC 318. I need this one. Max Holloway has been on the right side of UFC history many times throughout his career. He holds a championship pedigree along with numerous records and accolades. At UFC 318, however, BMF champ Holloway, 26-8, 22 in the UFC, 22-8 in the UFC, is fighting to avoid being a dubious note in the UFC record book, as he hopefully uh, as he hopes to finally defeat Dustin Poirier, 30-9, 22-8 in the UFC. Wow, they have the exact same UFC record. I did not realize. That's kind of cool. In the July 19th header at Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. After going winless in a three-fight featherweight title and three featherweight title encounters with Alexander Volkanovski, Holloway will try to avoid suffering a third defeat to Poirier, who submitted him in February 12th, 2012, then won a thrilling unanimous decision in an April 2019 rematch. Max always says, I'm 0-3 in one trilogy. I'm not trying to be 0-3 in two trilogies. That's the main thing going through my mind. The VMF title is cool and everything, and making history is great. But the main history I ain't trying to make is being a man who fought two different trilogies and went 0-3. I'm focused on going out there and getting my hand raised. Shout out to DP the Diamond, he's a beast. He's an animal, he's a legend. I know this is his last dance, but I've got to play spoiler here. I need this one. Oh shit, I still pulled up his record. I'll do it after. Holloway, 33, said he's confident about his ability to defeat Poirier this time around and send him into retirement on a loss. Holloway still has championship ambitions left in his career, and he knows a winning result is required. You're only as good as your last fight, and my last fight wasn't good. After being knocked out for the first time in his career by Ilya Topuria at UFC 308 in October, Holloway left the 145-pound division and said he's a lightweight for good moving forward. He wants to get off on the right foot, and that means getting his hand raised at UFC 318. That first fight, me and Dustin are not even recognizable. Then the second fight, it was what it is. We went out there and did our thing. I thought I did enough. I obviously didn't. Three people sitting ringside had it as a decision, and it went the other way. There's nothing to cry about spilled milk. We've just got to worry about the next one. I'm straight focused here, and I can't wait. The only way to get a trilogy done now with me and him is for one, he got the sub, second one, he got a decision. So let's figure out this trilogy and hopefully get a KO in this one. With me being on the winning side, that would be cool. Although UFC 318 is going to be a celebration and send off for Poirier after a legendary career. Holloway is not showing up to be a bystander or play a part in a fairy tale ending. He is going into Poirier's home state of Louisiana with intentions of ruining the retirement party, but that mentally is purely out of his desire. If I if I've got to be the bad guy, I want to be the bad guy because it's his last dance, and I want to get his hand raised. So be it. So be it. Business is business. I'll be the bad guy for maybe the week for 25 minutes, and after that, it's all said and done. I'm not one of these guys who holds grudges. Whenever we get in the octagon, we solve it. Dustin doesn't cross that line with a lot of talking, and a lot of fans don't cross that line either. At the end of the day, it's super easy being the bad guy against someone like Dustin. It absolutely is. Now, what I was talking about before, uh, yeah, I'm gonna pull it up here, and then I want to talk about Max first. So, with this fight, couple things, right? Number one, this is Max Holloway officially moving up to 155, right? The second fight, he moved up to fight for the interim title, went back down to featherweight. The first fight between them was in featherweight. And then you have Max Holloway went out there, knocked out Gaethje, moved back down, got knocked out for the first time by Ilya. But, you look at this career. 33 years old. Even though he's been in the UFC since I think like 2010 or something like that, but like you look at him, I, I like going down there. It's easy this way. So, amateur bouts, beat everyone but two by decision. TKO doesn't say for these ones. Decision, TKO. And then when he made his official pro debut at X1, he won by unanimous decision, got a first round KO to win the X1 belt, defended it with a split decision, beat this Eddie guy on Hawaii Regionals, and then you had his first fight in the UFC, his debut, none other than Poirier. And he got submitted in the first round by a triangle armbar, very young. But after that, went on a 3-4 win streak, got a body shot TKO, lost the split decision to Dennis Bermudez. Then he fought Conor McGregor, on his rise, lost out by unanimous decision. But after that Conor fight, for second round TKO, third round submission, third round TKO, first round TKO, unanimous decision, submitted Cub Swanson, a legend of the UFC. Yeah, the first fight was Oliveira, which I really want a rematch. I really want this rematch at 155. Oliveira ended up injuring his neck and shoulder in the first round, and the fight ended up being called off after that. But I feel, like I said once again, Oliveira becoming a champion. I know that Oliveira is on a decline right now, just got knocked out by Tapoya. Still, I think it's an incredible fight between two veterans trying to, add the last little bit to their legacy. Jeremy Stevens, unanimous decision. Ricardo Lamas, unanimous decision. Then he fights Anthony Showtime Pettis, knocks him out in the third round. Gets to Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo just losing to Conor McGregor the first time in a decade. Goes out there against Aldo, knocks him out in the third one with TKO or ground and pound. Has a rematch. Well, we're supposed to fight Frankie Edgar. Jose Aldo gets his rematch in December. Once again, another third round TKO. Then you have a lot of council fights. Frankie Edgar is supposed to fight Khabib in 2018. Supposed to fight Ortega in July 2018. Ends up fighting Ortega in December, and it's an incredible fight. He battered Brian Ortega until they had to stop the fight. Ortega was undefeated at that time, and again, he's only lost to the best in this division. Then he goes back out for the second fight against Poirier for the interim belt. Has a really good fight, loses unanimous decision, like we said. Frankie Edgar, he goes back down to featherweight, beats Frankie once again. And then you have the bulk fights. Lost the first one by unanimous decision. A lot of people thought Max won it though. Fights Volkanovski the second time. More people thought Max won that, but Volkanovski won by split decision, meaning he lost his belt. Goes on to fight Calvin Kattar and Yair Rodriguez. Two beautiful performances. Got fight of the night for each of them. And then he fights Volkanovski for the third time. Again, a really close fight, but this time Volk wins by unanimous decision and went on to fight Islam and win the belt back after losing to Korea. But again, even though he lost the title fight, Arnold Allen unanimous decision, Korean Zombie in his retirement knocked him out. Gaethje moves up to 155. Nobody gave Max a shot, and it was a beautiful performance. Last second over right hand in the middle of the cage after calling for a scrap. One of the best knockouts, one of the best moments in UFC history. And then he goes down to 145 in October to fight Ilya Topuria. Did good the first two rounds. Then got put out by Ilya with a left hook, followed by ground strikes. The first cold knockout he suffered. And it brings us to this fight, right? Where, he's 0-3. Dustin Poirier, his legacy is done, right? BSD, he knocked him out when everybody thought he was done after being knocked out by Gaethje in the second round, submitted Chandler, lost to Oliveira by rear naked choke. We know about the title fights. They hurt me too much to talk about. Beat Connor twice. The third fight where Connor broke his ankle. But again, he was dominating that first round, and Connor's best rounds are the first two rounds. Got submitted by Khabib. Yeah, the second match, right? Eddie Gaethje, Pettis, Jim Miller. No contest against Eddie before. Got KO'd by Michael Johnson, who has a lot of sneaky wins in lightweight. Bobby Green, first round TKO, Joe Duffy, Yancy Medeiros, Diego Ferreira. Got knocked out by Connor, but again, that started Connor Mania, right? But again, this is a record that will go down in history. Unlike all other sports, I feel like people can realize when a fighter has, Hall of Fame pedigree like Poirier does, even though he never won the belt, he's guaranteed to get that jacket, right? But back to Max Holloway, where you're 0-3. You're one of the best featherweights. Now you're moving up to lightweight, a fish weight after schooling the guy that just knocked out Poirier. But in the back of his mind, two trilogies in a row, it's tough. It's tough. But again, he's going to get paid. He's going to get his money. He's going to go out there and get the fame. But again, for an MMA fighter, for their mentality going into this, somebody like Max, this is one that means more to him than any other fight. Again, you could argue that he beat Alex, but again, 0-3. Once the judges rate those cards, once Bruce Buffer reads the decision, that's it. It's going on Topology, it's going on Sherdog, wherever you look, unless it gets overturned by a drug test. But for Max, like I said in the beginning, it's tough for me. I love both of these guys. Both of these guys are incredible fighters, two of the best of their generation. And I truly believe that. But again, man, Poirier getting knocked out, I know that he beat BSD, losing to Islam. This is Max Holloway's fight delivers. I honestly believe that. I love both these guys. I cannot stress it enough. But for Dustin, if he loses this fight, he's gonna retire either way. If Max Holloway loses this fight, that makes him take a step back. I don't know if you can give him an all event. Maybe you give him Michael Chandler or somebody like that to work his way back up to the rankings. But Max needs this, man. Max needs this more than anybody on this card. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for this card. Again, the first two fights are incredible. These are two of my favorite fighters. And now I got the BMF belt that, Poirier can go out there and try and win on his way out. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about what Max Holloway said? Go watch the interview. Again, we're at 17 minutes. I've been rambling far too long. Once again, I want to thank you guys for the recent support. Just past 1,900 subs. And honestly, like when I reached 1,000, I thought that would be the peak of it. But like over the last few months, you guys have been insane. I can't thank you enough. So here's some more videos. Here's the what we're supposed to share this weekend. And then the final match between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier next weekend. Let me know what you think.